this is Vicki Robinson. I felt like doing some art this morning, so I thought I'd make a couple of mixed media backgrounds for you real quick. So I've gone ahead and very lightly coated these two pieces of watercolor paper. They're 300-pound watercolor paper, 9x12, and I've just gone ahead and very lightly using a credit card scraped a very thin layer of gesso onto the watercolor paper, and I like it very thin for purposes of the background because it dries very quickly and I'm impatient and I don't want to wait for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm starting with some Golden's Green Gold. This is fluid acrylic, and I'm only using the fluid acrylic because I don't actually have any heavy body acrylic in this color, and I really like the way that turned out. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to put some on each page, and then I'm just going to use my credit card and just going to scrape it around. This is an old room key or credit card. I'm just going to scrape it over the ground. I like to make sure that my elements like this touch both the top and the side. I think it sort of grounds the paper, grounds the color a little bit more, grounds the page. And as you see, not being too very careful with it, I'm just scraping it on. Now I'm going to take a baby wipe and a stencil, and I have to work quickly for this part of it because the fluid acrylic dries pretty quickly, and what I want to do is I want to remove some of the color that I just put on with my baby wipe. So I'm gonna sort of choose some spots and very lightly rub through my stencil. And this point of this is just to create some background texture. Okay, a little bit of a spot here. Do the same thing over here. Not going everywhere, as you can see. I'm just picking some spots to sort of remove some of this color. And let me see how that looks. I don't think there's any extra color in here, but just to add some texture here, get some cast off there. Okay. Now I'm going to add some light blue. This is a Dina Wakley Heavy Body acrylic in Sky, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'll pop some down. And again with the credit card, just gonna let it go where it will, trying to get it to connect to at least one side. I am not loving the combination of these two colors. Maybe I didn't do that really well. Okay, kind of yucko. So I'm gonna take another stencil and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to erase some of that color with my baby wipe. You see what's happening as I'm wiping through here, that blue and the gold is reaching through to make a green, which I actually like better than the original colors. Maybe this one will go this way a little bit. And so that I don't waste any of my colors, I'm gonna wipe it a little bit like this. Kind of reminding me of some baby poop here, this combination here. Maybe I'm thinking about my granddaughter too much. So all I've really done is to create some layers that will help make this blend in. looks a little bit like a hot mess at this point. But let's see what we can do. I have this Ranger numeric stencil, and I'm just going to lay this down. Let's do it opposite because I like to be contrary. And I've just got some watered down acrylic paint in a spray bottle. Let's see if I can make this work. Just going to lightly mist through. And you know what's kind of cool about this is it has the effect of toning down this green gold, which I so terribly was not liking. It's a little bit too much texture. So, gonna let this dry. Okay, I just used this already dirty baby wipe to stencil over to fill in. I intended to leave more white space, and since I didn't, I thought it looked a little awkward. So because of that, I wanted to fill a little bit more in. And I think what I'm going to do now is, I need to do some top stenciling. Maybe I will see if these holes are good enough. So I'm just going to use some white. This is just a Liquitex titanium white. Oops, pardon me. And maybe I will just try to take some of this. See what happens if I try to going to get me thin enough, I think. Yeah, let's say if I do a paintbrush. Just getting some sort of white blobs, so be a little more aggressive with my stippling here. And again, I'm just trying to add a little bit more color. It might actually be more successful if I tried that spray, but I wanted it to show a little more. So let's do this first. And maybe what I need, maybe what I don't like is that I've got this green gold all the way over here, but I don't have it on this side of the page, and maybe that's what's bugging me. So why don't I try this? Add a little green gold into here. Take the little list of green gold and see if I can't bring that together just a tiny bit. I really don't need a lot. I just need something to sort of carry that color through. Oops. And notice I'm just being really random with my stencil marks. I'm not trying to be perfect here. Okay, that's not so bad. And I think because I really love the way this stencil looked, maybe I'm gonna, oh, how about this one? These are just a number stencil. I don't know which one that is, but why don't I go ahead and turn this over so you really don't see it so much. Part of my problem is, these openings are really small on this stencil. So if you don't hold the stencil really flat, you're not going to see the spray. See, that's my problem there, too flat. Not flat enough, I mean. Needs to be really close in. Otherwise you just get a bunch of white paint on your stencil and not much else. There you have it. What'd it take? Maybe 5 minutes for these two yummy backgrounds.